Hello, I'm ToycatA, and Minecraft is a game that contains hundreds of different blocks and items, all of which have some purpose somewhere in the game, right? I mean, when you find them, you're very excited because you get to use them for something, is generally the rule for most things in the game, but there are some things that really don't have a very specific use. They're so niche to the point of being basically irrelevant, and today I wanted to talk about those 11 different items and share exactly what they are and why they're so darn useless, because let's be honest, you've probably forgot they even exist, with the exception being the first one on this list, the end dragon egg. This is a highly sought after item in Minecraft survival because it can only spawn once, asterisk, that's only if you are on Bedrock and Java. It spawns more than once, barring glitches on those platforms and on console. So the ender dragon egg spawns once, and therefore it's very rare and useful, but unlike other rare useful items, think about, how rare it is to find ancient debris. But when you find ancient debris, you're so excited you have the ability to make the useful tools of Netherite eventually. When you go out to the end and you find the elytra, it's really exciting because you can finally fly around in the game. What happens when you finally find the end dragon egg? Well, its purpose hasn't been defined yet. It still does not have one, and given how long it's been, I'd be fairly sure they either forgot or they've decided that just like teleporting around when you click it is enough to make this interesting. And again, bear in mind, this is the one-time item in your world, so you can't actually even do that because there's a good chance that it'll accidentally, spawn itself into the void or into lava or something like that. It's just an item that you can click to teleport into a random place. Who really wants that? I'll be honest, most people don't. If you're a mini game maker, you can maybe do something really specific with this, but otherwise, the ender dragon egg is a rare item that just doesn't have a use. Why make something so rare? Why hint at it being literally an end dragon egg? I mean, the hints towards some future update are there, but again, it's been 10 years and still nothing, and that's why I say the ender dragon egg is a useless item, but it's not useless in the same way that the compass is useless, because at least this is rare. At least there's some prestige you can have from the end dragon egg. Maybe that's its one use, you could argue. I wouldn't argue, I'd argue you're wrong, but the compass has one single use, and it's a use that most people actually misunderstand, and even with their misunderstanding, they still don't make it, because the compass points you to spawn, right? So you can follow the compass. I mean, if I go this way, it points me back that way. The compass will point you always towards the spawn, which sounds really useful until you realize that means the world spawn. That doesn't mean your individual spawn, where you place down your bed last. That might actually be useful, because it allows you to locate something which is otherwise undefinable without dying. No, the compass points you to your world spawn. Something that you can literally do by just finding the world spawn, placing a just placing something to recognize it, or storing those coordinates. The compass points you there, and again, I find this to be a really interesting idea for an item, except it doesn't work in the world of coordinates. The world spawn is always going to be somewhere close to 0, 0. In this world, I think it's exactly 0, 0. Why do I need a compass to tell me how to get to my world spawn when I can know that it's in that direction anyway? The compass is a really fun idea for an item, I want to say, but the truth is it's only really useful for making the locator map, because locator maps are a pretty cool map. It's a way for you to work out exactly where you are in your world relative to all the things, but that's going to move us into the third useless item, because here is the non-locator map. There are maps in Minecraft, and there are locator maps, and the regular maps look like this. As you can see, this map shows me where I am right now relative to the world, and can you spot where I am? If you, without looking at from that compass point earlier, where am I? I mean, maybe you could spot the giant gold block, and that will help you, but this map is so useless. I think the first time you make it, you can spot where you are based on when the map loads in. If I go this way, for instance, you'll see the map loads in. I know I'm going towards the south east side of this map, but otherwise it's so hard to work out anything that's going on the empty maps. They're only useful for if you're trying to make a giant mega map from mini maps. In terms of actual survival usability, in terms of being usable as an item and not a display, it is basically useless. I don't know why you wouldn't just get a compass and throw it on here. Again, the compass is one use. In fact, it's funny, we've got two useless items right here, but you combine them together and you get a slightly useful item, again, in the world of non-coordinates or in the world where you're trying to be pretty and kind of navigable. I actually kind of see that. I like it quite a bit. But maybe you don't. Maybe you say, you know what, that is dumb, actually. I don't like the map. Maybe you defend the map for being some weird thing that it's not. But something that I find very hard to defend, in all honesty, by the way, look at my crafting tables here, is this particular food choice. So if we go into the crafting table, you'll notice that I can make a pumpkin pie. You make this from pumpkins, sugar, and eggs. 3 very distinct ingredients. I guess they're all farmable technically, but you can make pumpkin pie from them, and you might be thinking, yeah, pumpkin pie is a really good food. I mean, it's interesting. I don't eat it a lot, but it must be good, and I'll admit, they did buff the pumpkin pie. It used to give just 3 hunger shanks, now it gives 4, but it also gives a really low saturation. Maybe Minecraft is trying to teach us all a valuable lesson about how if you eat, like a dessert for breakfast, you're going to have energy supplies run out on the rest of the day, but you get really low saturation values from pumpkin pie, meaning you'll have to eat again really soon. This makes it objectively worse than steak and cooked pork chop, and you know how you farm both those things? You just get a cow farm, you get a pig farm. It's significantly easier than farming 3 separate ingredients, one of which only stacks up to 16, and then crafting them together. I feel like given that is a crafting recipe required, I'd be fine with it being a high saturation, low hunger shank food, or being a really high hunger shank and low saturation food. But when it's like kind of high on one of them and really low for the other, and it takes so much effort to make these, I just don't see a world where anyone's making pumpkin pie. But it's not as useless as the 5th item I have to talk about, because again, at least it does have a lot of hunger. If you're doing a vegan run in Minecraft, which I'm sure someone is doing, you could say, yeah, well actually, pumpkin pies are for me. It's for vegans. Thank you, ToycatA. And like, I'm gonna have some questionable. I'm going to have to question that one first of all, but then I'm going to say, sure, you know what, you are doing a no killing animal runs of Minecraft, and so what you might enjoy is the fact that if you farm potatoes, you can get lovely potatoes just like this. Oh, I love me some potatoes. But you know what else can happen when you're farming potatoes? There is a chance that you'll get this, the poisonous potato. So something I find so interesting is that a potato heals this much hunger. It heals half a hunger shank, whereas the poisonous potato heals a full hunger shank, which I think the lesson there is meant to be that like, oh, poisonous potatoes are actually good for you. When you see a potato that's real bad, eat it anyway. But there is a 60% chance that gives you poison, and it's obviously not worth doing that. And I just don't, I don't understand why this item exists. It's rare. It's I figured at first, like, oh, so this is really clever. The poisonous potato is there to teach you not to eat unripe potatoes. But again, first of all, it gives you more hunger, which isn't how poisonous food works. And second of all, it's not even a particularly rare outcome. I mean, every time you farm potatoes, they grow up real fast, huh? Every time you farm potatoes, you've got a 1 in 50 chance of getting poisonous potatoes. So, oh, it's there to, like, remind you that sometimes your crops go bad. No, you get the poisonous potato in addition to the normal potatoes you would have gotten. Every use that you can try and ascribe to the poisonous potatoes is not there, and it's not usable in a potion. It's not usable in anything like that. It just exists in the game and doesn't. Unlike the pumpkin pie, which at least you could argue, oh, some people, if they just don't find a pig, maybe there's something to that. No, if you have the poisonous potato, you have a lot of regular potatoes, and you're not going to eat the one that poisons you unless you're being quirky, unless you're trying to show someone who's new to Minecraft and trick them. But it won't work as a trick because the poisonous potato is literally called a poisonous potato. That's its biggest problem. I don't understand any use that you could find for this. I was almost going to mention, while we're talking about useless food, the cookies. Cookies are, again, kind of tricky to craft and even more valueless than pumpkin pie. But again, cookies have a sentimental value. Pumpkin pie does not. Maybe I'm just too British to understand why you'd make pumpkin pie. But then also tropical fish. But again, we're not going to rag on those too much today. We're going to say that tropical fish and cookies are totally valid food. But you know what's not valid food? Rabbits. And you know what? I'm not going to insult rabbit meat too much. Like, sure, maybe for some people, they want to be quirky and eat some rabbit. Also, let's go ahead and... I figured I could hit them from here, but honestly, I'm having trouble killing these rabbits. So what we're going to do is we're going to slide in here, and we're going to kill a bunch of rabbits. The reason we're killing a bunch of rabbits is because we want to get some rabbit feet, which is the next pointless item in Minecraft. Rabbit feet, honestly, again, it sounds like a well-intentioned thing. Like, so there's, you get rabbit, raw rabbit when you kill a rabbit, you get rabbit hide, and sometimes, very rarely, you'll get rabbit foot as well. And the problem with this is Minecraft has this huge stance where they're willing to, like, change things to make it not, basically they really don't like cruelty against animals being encouraged in the real world. Like we didn't, the reason that we haven't got sharks is because they don't want to encourage players to kill the sharks. But then like, okay, if that's true, why do you literally reward me for killing a rabbit and taking its foot? This is a lucky charm. That's its only value in Minecraft. Like, it'd be different if it was like, oh yeah, well, in Minecraft, you kill the rabbit and you get the rabbit's foot, but it's actually useful there, so that's why they do it. No, this is an item that just exists by itself. There is is one use you get from the rabbit's foot, which is brewing. Besides brewing, it just exists, again, which means you as the player have to put something onto there, and because it's a rare chance, it is literally lucky. That is all you can take from the rabbit's foot. How is the same game that is so aggressively against having animals as pets, you know, after the dogs and the cats, you'll notice how there's no more taming, there's just becoming friends of animals. The same game that is taking those choices also has rabbit feet. And by the way, also rabbit feet and rabbit meat, I should mention. It's kind of funny. Obviously, they're different areas of Minecraft, but it's just so weird to see side by side the rabbit foot compared to not being able to have foxes as pets, because they must be that instead they become friends. They do what they want, but they're vaguely friendly towards you. It just seems absurd. Not absurd though as the one use you have for rabbit foot. Like I mentioned, the rabbit foot can go in a brewing stand. You can take some awkward potions and you can turn them into Minecraft's most useful potion. Except, oh wait a minute, wrong video, right? This video is actually about Minecraft's most useless items, and that includes what you get when you brew rabbit feet. Like, you want to love them, I want to love them. I want to say, yeah, this is such a useful darn thing that we've created right here. I love the potion of leaping. And, you know, like, the truth is, though, no, the Potion of Leaping is perhaps the most useless default effect. Let me show you what you can do with a Potion of Leaping. Again, you put a rabbit foot in there, so you'd expect to get a large amount of jump boost, right? Enough to jump 2 blocks? No, not enough to jump 2 blocks. As you can see, 1, 2, I can't jump there. Because jump boost gives you the ability to jump 1.5 blocks. This means, for instance, if you have a rabbit cage that you killed all the rabbits in, you can jump on the fence if you want to. I mean, this is fun. I'll be honest, for a while, I was on the fence about whether this was a good, you know, Minecraft potion effect or not. And then I realized, no, you have to design parkour specifically to make it work. Maybe that's something useful. And then I realized, well, this is Jump Boost 1. You'd never use Jump Boost 1, so Jump Boost potions, they're worthless. What about Jump Boost 2? Ignoring that you get a way shorter effect, Jump Boost 2 does do all the promised things from the promised land. As you can see, I can now jump the ridiculously tall number of blocks here that is 2. Oh, that's insane. Do you see that sick jump I just did? Anyway, so yeah, you can jump 2 blocks at a time. You're not immune from full damage or even protected from more of it, so be careful about that. Isn't it so fun to just jump around the world and get on stuff? And this is where the biggest problem with it kind of comes. It's got one specific use. You can jump on things slightly taller, but that one specific use is kind of already duplicated by something else in Minecraft, which isn't expensive, which doesn't require rare drops from rabbits, followed by brewing, followed by all that effort. And you know what it is? You know what it is, don't you? In fact, I'll use my compass to take me there, because I know that the block that this comes from is somewhere near the spawn, but I just forgot where my spawn is. If only I could get there faster with my jump boost and my pumpkin pies. Or, I wish I had some poisonous potatoes. They're such a good food. But yeah, I'm going towards my spawn, because you know what's over here? Over here is my beacon. One of the effects you can get from beacon, I'll admit, it's more setup costs at the begin with, but if you're going for all the effort anyway, here's a beacon. This gives you jump boost 2 forever. You get eternal jump boost 2, while you're near it at least, and this means that even if you really wanted to have too high parkour and you love this jumping effect, you still should go for the beacon. The fact that this is the one use you get from the rabbit's foot, and even then it's surpassed by the beacon, that should say all you need to know about why that should say literally everything you need to know about why the rabbit's foot is a useless item, and by extension, why jump boost is even more useless, because it's the one result you get, and it's not a very good result, unless you're trying to jump on fences and half slabs and all sorts of crazy stuff like that. Speaking of crazy stuff like that, let's move next over here to where my minecarts are, because wow, look at all the transport options we have here. We've got upside down pigs, we've got boats, we've got minecarts, we've got upside down pigs in boats, we've got all the choices in the world available to us, and you might question like, so what's the best transport method in Minecraft, ToycatA? And the answer is none of these, right? By the way, notice how much I have to keep on eating food over and over again. I'm just continuously going back and forth. So yeah, the best way to get around in Minecraft, by far, it's widely known, it's the minecart. The minecart is so incredibly useful. Don't you love the minecart? I do. I just love the fact that you'll be going about your day-to-day business being like, ooh, I can get places, and then if you want to, oh, I literally can't stop the minecart without getting out of it. So you'll be going about your business, doing your day-to-day stuff, and then you'll realize you're in a minecart and you're going incredibly fast. Look at this speed that I am getting. I am I am no mere mortal. I am literally a higher power being right here. And so yeah, obviously I'm being sarcastic. But the reason, you know, minecarts obviously go a lot faster when you get on powered rails, which we can totally do if we try hard enough right here. Yeah, look at the speed we get here. This is incredible. Except no, it's not incredible. Compared to flying with the Elytra, which you can do without... Oh. Should have seen that coming. The great thing about dying is you find out where your world spawn is, which is entirely impossible otherwise. Oh look, it's right here. Thank you, Compass, for telling me that I'm standing where my spawn point is. Wouldn't have worked that out otherwise. Anyway, so the reason that the Elytra is better is because you don't need rails to be placed down, and you fly faster, and you can fly in any direction, including up and down at any speed you really want to. It's really delightful. But you might say like, well, what about when you want to get a really far distance and you don't want to worry about like durability or whatever? And obviously, that's where the boat comes in. The minecart has this really awkward in-between phase going on with it, where it doesn't really have a lot of use. And, you know, you might think, oh, well, that's just you being prejudiced against older things, ToycatA. And, you know, I am prejudiced against... Actually, I'd say I'm the opposite of that, but, you know, let's pretend I am prejudiced against old things. Even Minecraft developers themselves. Here is a tweet from Xilifan, Felix, one of the Minecraft developers, making fun of how bad minecarts are. I think he made a pretty good joke too. But like the fact that even Minecraft developers know how useless they are, that should tell you all you need to know about the minecart as a transport method. Also, the fact that I'm getting around this world this much more effectively by flying should tell you that flying is great. Boats are the better alternative if you can build infrastructure. But what's not a good alternative to if you want to get around on the ground, you don't want to fly, you don't want to use boats, obviously you would use a horse. Or if you're smart like me, you would instead use a pig. So this pig is for some reason trapped in a... You know, it's very weird to use an upside down pig. I'll level with you on that one. But if you have a carrot on a stick, you can actually ride pigs. It's ridiculous, I know, but it is a real fact. Let me show you right here. Here is a pig, and oh god, what is happening to you, pig? No, 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 pig, pig, pig! No! Okay, you know, that's why the carrot on the stick is really useless. It's a way to ride pigs, except pigs are slower than horses. Also, you need the fishing rod to do it. They use durability. There's just no good reason to do it. Besides, I'll give you this, that one achievement if you're playing Minecraft Bedrock. If you're playing Java, you don't know what achievements are. Yeah, if you're playing console, I'll also give you the achievement front. If you're playing Bedrock, you get the achievement and then you never use the carrot on the stick again. That is how that one works. But you know what isn't how that one works? You ever been in Minecraft and thought to yourself like, wow, what time of day is it? And then you look up at the sky and you go, huh, I guess it's midday. It's almost like the world is locked to midday. Almost, does that have something to do with the fact that it's creative? Probably not. Anyway, so, well, this is a creative world. We're in survival, of course. Now, that probably has nothing to do with it. And then you think to yourself, maybe I'm wrong about it being midday. Or maybe realistically, you know, I'll give this item the benefit of the doubt because the clock was invented for use, you know, maybe underground. You ever been underground and thought to yourself, what time of day it is? I have no way of working this out. Oh, thank God, the clock tells me it's day. The problem is that, first of all, the clock is really hard to read. Second of all, the clock doesn't work in any dimension besides the overworld. And third of all, if you really need to know what time of day is in your mind, the more permanent solution is just a bigger skylight. Oh, now I know that it's midday. I don't need the clock after all. The clock is something that I have seen only in joking positions like above beds and stuff. I've never seen the clock used as a real item in Minecraft, and that is a shame. I feel like if the clock also gave you pre-warning for weather cycles, people would be hyped about it. If the, you know, like a weather forecasting clock, it doesn't make sense, but it's Minecraft. Does any of this make sense? Does the fact that you put a carrot on a stick and, you know, ride a pig with it make any sense? Does the way that pig got stuck in that boat make any sense? No, it doesn't. It's fine. It's Minecraft. We don't need to make perfect sense. We just need to give people tools to make their games useful. And speaking of tools that make people useful, I'm gonna get some hate for this one. So to preamble that hate, or to preempt that hate, you know, let's all agree that the only thing more useless than potions of leaping are arrows of leaping, and then maybe arrows of water breathing too. When have you ever thought to yourself, I want to hit that guy with an arrow so that they'll jump very slightly higher for 11 seconds, or they'll breathe underwater for the next 22. You've never thought that. There are so many other better tipped arrows that I just don't understand why they even pretend this is an option. While we're on this train of thought, let's talk about the 11th and final item in this list. You know what, we played fast and loose with the idea of 11 items, didn't we? But the 11th and final useless item in Minecraft that no one cares about, it's name tags. I'm sorry, are you an 11-year-old teenage girl that really wants to name an animal in Minecraft because, oh, he's a fuzzly wozzly panda, I'm gonna call him that? No, name tags are a very, very, very niche item that people act like they love all the time because I need to name my dogs, they're so cute. No, you're not. You're not 11 anymore. You know what? It's fine. You can name things in Minecraft without it popping up above their head, and also the guilt that you get when you kill Fuzzle Wuzzles and it mentions it in the... Oh, it doesn't mention it in the chat. Well, you know what? I killed a panda for nothing. You know what? Maybe you like that. Maybe there's something you get from that, you crazy person. But name tags have two uses as far as I'm concerned. One is to name something Dinnerbone, Grum, or Jeb, you know, to get funny effects like that upside down pig. And the second one is to stop it from despawning, but that is not... those are very, very, very niche requirements that most people don't use them for. And the annoying thing about them is they're one of those rare items. You find them in chests and... Not this chest, apparently. You find them in chests, and it's like, it's meant to be this incredibly fun, cool situation where, yeah, I can now name things. Except naming things has very little use in the game. And that's why I am taking this brave stance today that name tags are the 11th most useless item. They have a use. They're at the very bottom of this list, but they're on this list, and they deserve to be. And speaking of places that people deserve to be, wouldn't you love to deserve not to be in a house fire? I bet you would. Do you know how you can guarantee that you won't be in one? Asterisk, that's not how this works at all. Did you know greater than 99% of house fires happen to people who aren't subscribed to the channel? And according to statistics, greater than 60% if you still haven't done that. So here is my opportunity to beg for those subscribers as a thank you for the last 20 minutes of content you've watched. And if you enjoy that, let me know. And if not, follow @IBXToycat on Twitter, according to this random little sign, because that's where you'll find all the best Minecraft content. Actually, not Minecraft at all. You can see what's going on in my personal life. Wow. America, Mexico, what's with Toycat's crazy personal life? I'd better go to Twitter to find out. There we go. That's my ad myself over. Thank you for watching. I hope you will enjoy and have a good day, because I'll see you all next time, bae. There we go. That rhymes.